Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It is me, once again, screaming into the void of the internet. You know, I'm not gonna talk about this like I knew the guy personally. And it's not really just gonna be just about him, but it's gonna be about like this thing that I kind of talk about. And it's not necessarily like what I'm usually talking about, where it's either like something about jobs or issues or something like that. But I have noticed. It's not just this year, but like definitely like a bit late of last year and this year. It's like, dude, all of my like people that I would like listen to for entertainment, it's like they're passing on, man. Freaking Toriyama, Comicstorian, like, God rest your soul, man. God rest both of their souls. Like, Toriyama's, like, Dragon Ball is just, everyone knows by now, like, everyone knows how influential that was for, like, people discovering anime and people wanting to be better because they looked up to those characters and stuff like that. Because, like, funnily enough, I think it's funny, like, when everyone's talking about this inclusion and diversity bullcrap, and, I feel like stuff like that, it inspires you to want to be your best, like, sure, it's unrealistic to draw every single freaking person in the show for the most part as, like, this really buff, really tall person, but it gives people this thing to want to work for, and even if they can't reach it, they keep going, like, that's kind of how the story of Goku has been, right? Like, he doesn't know if he'll get stronger. He might get a little bit stronger, but he just keeps training, regardless, Oh, sure, I'm not going to get any bigger, but I'm going to keep training anyway. I might only be slightly stronger, but I'm going to keep training anyway, alright? And, like Kevin Conroy, I think that's his name, I'm sorry if I didn't say it right. The voice of Batman. That was Batman's motive too, like always trying to be in the best condition that you can. There are plenty of people that I know that say, hey, listen, they want to be like Batman, like Goku, because they're always training best that they can be, stuff like that, And, it's a shame because when I think about a lot of Batman comics and stuff like that, I don't know anyone who would be as enthusiastic as Comicstorian, And it's just like all of my entertainment is just... It's all just being gone. It's just being taken away. And it's not that, like, Comicstorian is, like, my only source of comics. But it's, like, even the modern comics, and I hate the modern comics with a passion, dude. Holy cow. He would find a way to make it engaging. A lot more engaging than it normally would be, Because there was so much enthusiasm in what he did. He loved what he did. You could hear it. It wasn't just some act. Like a lot of these fake YouTubers and stuff like that. He loved what he did. He loved trying to bring life to these characters, It's just such a shame to me. It really is. It's such a shame that all the places that I'm looking towards for, like, entertainment, it's like these people they're gone, and, it's just, it's part of life. I recognize that. But I still think it's crazy that Tori passed on before the voice actress of Goku. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think she but she is older than him. And he passed. And his last, like, panel in, like, the manga chapter that he worked on when he was here was, like, Piccolo leaving. I don't know if you knew. My friend mentioned that, sometimes people just have a way of knowing. And it could be. It could be, man. I've always had the opinion when it comes down to, like, passing that it's just, like, your body can't hold on to your soul anymore, I know, oh, well, that's outdated, I'm an atheist, I mean, that's fine, like, you don't have to believe the same thing, I've never really understood why people are so, like, anal about that, like, even during my times of not believing in anything, I never bashed anyone. I never, like, said, okay, my one way of seeing the world is the only correct way, right? Not that I'm trying to get too far off topic, but yeah, God rest their souls, man. You know, it's like everyone that I feel has had some kind of impact on us, entertainment-wise. It seems like there are times like nearing its end. And listen, like, it's happened long before then. Like, I don't know if you guys remember, but it's like the guy, I can't remember his name, but he was like a big, he was like a big feller, right? And he had, what is it? He played in, like, God of War and like, Scorpion King. I can't remember his name, though. He had a very deep voice, you know. And he passed. He played in God of War. He played as Atlas the Titan. He has, like, some very good voice acting, you know. And, he passed, like, a long time ago. And even then, to this day, like, I was like, God dang, it sucks that he's gone. Because there's, like, a lot of voice actors and, you know, writers and stuff that pass on, and it's just like, God, dude, like the writer for Berserk, you know, it's like, it feels like entertainment. I feel like my friend and I kind of talk about this, and it's like we say, like, maybe what this is telling us is that it's our time to make good entertainment. Because listen, everyone freaking knows entertainment, especially in the freaking West, is just dead. There needs to be this, like, freaking checklist that people need to meet first before they want to make entertainment. How many, you know, insert alphabet characters are here? Are there enough diversity characters over here? Like, listen, that's not realistic. It's like, I think it's Assassin's Creed, yeah. Like, Assassin's Creed having, like, what, like, a black samurai or something like that, and I'm like, I mean, listen, why are you doing this, you know, like, it's Japan. Japan was a freaking island, for God's sakes. Like, you can't just, could there maybe be a black guy on Japan? You know, like, say that, like, they got a slave or something. Yes, but should that person, just because they are black, be, like, the main character or something like that? Or because they're a woman, or any other kind of, like, reason, like, because they're gay or something, like, should that be the main reason why we want to listen to that? No, absolutely not. And you're seeing it in, like, every media, because every media that I usually want to like now, it's like, they find their way to try and diversify it and stuff like that, and it's just irritating. It's like Invincible, right? Like, Invincible is a very, very decent book, comic book-wise, yeah. But then it's like, people found it, and I don't really, you know, discredit this, because they did find it through the show, right? Most people won't know what Invincible is without the show. But the show is an absolute disgrace to what the actual comic is, because so much is just, like, rewritten, because in their eyes, it's not modern enough. You know, there needs to be tick boxes that they need to tick off before they can be okay with it. And it's just such a shame to me that, the people who care about entertainment, the people who just care about writing a good story, who care about telling a good story, are just being swept away in the ocean of wokeness, because, like, you're trying to compete with these people, and you can't really compete. And it's not necessarily that you can't compete because, like, their stuff is better. It's just they just have more money, so they can literally just bury your stuff, you know. Because that's literally what happens. I don't know if you know, but, like, a lot of these movie channels, Rotten Tomatoes and stuff like that, and, like, movie websites to review, like, they get, like, paid to, like, write certain reviews. So, like, don't always believe that just because something is positive or negative that it's, you know, either of those things. I always say that the best judgment is to, like, look at it yourself and give it your judgment. Do you really believe what people say about it? You know? Because, yes, if everyone's saying something about it, then sometimes it does warrant it, but don't get it twisted. Sometimes there are plenty of instances where everyone could be saying something about it, and it could be just dead wrong. Just look at the amount of people, for example, and I know that this is kind of all over the place, but I'm kind of just, I don't want to just focus too much on, like, something sad, you know, like, think about it like Elden Ring, yeah. Elden Ring's DLC is coming out, And you know that you're going to have some dumb arse IGN journalist talking about how, oh, well, this isn't fair because there's no easy mode, and you know, like, so, for some reason, we're in a day and age where it's like everyone feels as though what they want from entertainment must be the same thing, and that's completely ridiculous, because I've always interpreted it as, like, what you get out of the entertainment is your reason, and what I get out of the entertainment is my reason, right? You know? And when it comes down to stories, like movies, manga, you know, I've always wanted good animation, good fights, decent characters, good story. You know? I'm not really into fan service. You know, like when people are over here saying, oh, have you seen this new anime, this, that, or the other? And it's like, dude, it's just the same crap. Massive tits, arse, panty shots, like fan service. Like, I just want a good show. I want a good story. You know? I want it to make sense. And you don't really get that much these days. Same with voice acting, you know, like, there's some good voice actors. There are. But there's a lot of voice actors. Now, if you compare them, like, it's just night and day. There's just so much more passion, because obviously they had, like, you know, years of experience, but it's like they don't really try much, because it's like, in today's day and age, again, there needs to be, like, some kind of, you have to tick a box. So, like, certain people, it's like they feel like they're just going to get the position because, you know, diversity hire and stuff like that. So, they don't try as hard. And, I don't know, dude. It's just like, can we go back to, like, entertainment actually just being there to entertain us? Can we go back to being able to just escape for a minute, you know, just for a minute, you know? Everyone escapes from this reality somehow, right? Like, whether it's a video game, whether it's alcohol, drugs, a whole bunch of sex, you know, whatever it is, whatever your release is for a moment from this cancerous world, you know, I think we all need it. Trust. My release is video games, okay? I listen to music, and I play video games, you know? That's my release, because when I'm there, you know, my mind is focusing where I am, and I'm there. But it's like nowadays, it's like they're coming after everything. They're constantly just reminding you about, like, how awful where you are is and stuff like that. Where you are is, that sounds so ghetto. I'm sorry. Where you are can be. There we go. You know, and it just feels like it's constantly pulling you back, telling you to wake up and remember that you gotta come back to this. It sucks. It really does. I don't know, man. I feel like in today's day and age, we're getting to a point where I really wonder what entertainment is going to be like. Definitely not going to be good for the West. I feel like it's just going to die, because the only reason why it hasn't died is because these people are kind of, like, too big to fail at the moment. Because Disney is bleeding through money. You know, Disney is bleeding through money. Paramount, like, all the usual places, the subscription services, they're just bleeding through money, you know, like Netflix, they're bleeding through money. And for good reason, because people don't want, no matter how much you want to tell them that you are some kind of ism or aphobe or this, that, or the other, like, you can't tell them that enough to make them want to like your product. Screaming at them and saying that this movie isn't for you, while at the same time saying, if you don't watch this movie, then you're this, that, or the other, you're some kind of ism or a phobe, is not going to make someone purchase your stuff, you know, so. It's just really, it's a shame that, like, so many influential people, like Toriyama, like Comicstorian, like Kevin Conroy, like, you know, the creator for Berserk, like, all of these people that you like, like, well, why is it, why can't we at least just have those kinds of people, you know, stay a bit longer? Why is it always, like, like the arseholes that live. Like, you ever notice that the arseholes live such a long life for some reason? And they hit 80, 90. I'm not saying that that's an age that I want to hit personally. I don't think I want to live 100 years. Not on this freaking cesspool. No way. I'm fine clocking out at like 40, 50. Easy. I know there are people that say, "Oh, you got your whole life ahead of you at that point." I do not care, dude. Like, not amongst these people. Not amongst these people, dude. I'm fine at 40. If you know, like I just got taken out at that point. Fine at 50. What's having to be here amongst these clowns? No, dude. No way. Like, the happiest moments that I've noticed that most people are, at least in America, are when they're, like, you know, watching a TV show, or when they're, like, you know, watching sports. They're finding a way to escape the reality, because the reality is very unpleasant a lot of times. It really is. And so I kind of want to just take this time to just, you know, I thank God for people like Comicstorian. I thank God for people like Toriyama, creator of Berserk, Kevin Conroy, for entertaining people, you know, for giving us something else besides a very bad situation for a lot of us to focus on. And I don't think that anyone really can comprehend the impact that they have on that. Because for a lot of them, you know, it might just be a job. But for us, it just leaves us with, like, lasting impacts. And you're just like, oh, wow. You know, when I hear Batman, and I just hear that iconic Kevin voice, I'm just like, yeah, that's Batman. And now I can't hear it anymore. You know, when I think of Dragon Ball Z, I'm like, oh, Toriyama. But now Tori's gone. You know? Oh, a comic. I can't wait for Comicstorian to do a dub over of it, and I can't hear it anymore. I don't know, man. It's something to think about. Like I said, not one of these people that says, like, you know, we should cling to life past its usefulness by any means. That's not to say that these people deserve to relax. Don't put words in my mouth, you know. But I do think it's rather a shame that it's always people like that they seem to go before you even notice, you know. They go before you notice. They go before you noticed, and everyone else, that's kind of essentially an arsewipe, you know. You gotta wonder, right? Like, I mean, just think about this country that you're in. Like, how many people who were screwing up crap like 20 years ago are still here screwing up crap 20 years later? And yet, you know, here's Toriyama, just putting a bit of light in the world, and he's gone. Voice of Batman, Kevin Conroy, he's gone.